Here's a really interesting rule. It is a rare situation though, and it does involve a closest to the pin marker, but I'd be willing to bet at some point in time in the future, you will encounter this situation where you'll be able to use this rule to your benefit. So let's say you're playing an event that has closest to the pin contest on par 3s. When you get to a par 3, the first step is to hit the green, because this rule won't work unless your ball is on the putting green. But once you're on the putting green, assess the location of the CTP marker. If it's directly in your way and will prevent you from making the putt, go ahead and move it out of the way. But if it's not and it's anywhere else around the hole, just leave it in place, putt as you normally would, and if the ball hits the CTP marker, guess what happens? Under 11.1, when a ball played from the putting green accidentally hits a movable obstruction, there is no penalty and the stroke doesn't count. You must replace the original ball or another ball back on its original spot and you get to play again. So you essentially get a mulligan, which is pretty advantageous because you got to see what the putt did on the first try, giving you a much better chance of making it on the second try. There's one more really interesting aspect to this rule, but first I want to explain what you're probably thinking. How is this any different than if I put my ball and it rolls over somebody's coin or tee that they're using as a ball marker? Aren't those movable obstructions? Would I get to replay the shot if that happens? Unfortunately, no. When a ball is played from a putting green and it hits a ball marker, you could get a good bounce or a bad bounce, but either way you're going to play it as it lies. So in order to understand the difference between a ball marker and a movable obstruction in this case, we need to understand some definitions, but we also need to recognize that certain items can fall under multiple different definitions. So this coin right here is what I use to mark my ball on the greens. Now this coin is part of my equipment because it's something that I use and carry around with me on the course, but it's also a movable obstruction because it's an artificial object that I can move around easily without damaging it or the course. But when I use this coin to mark my ball on the green, it becomes a ball marker because a ball marker is an artificial object that's used to show the location of a ball that's going to be replaced. And replaced is one of the key components that makes a ball marker a ball marker. The CTP marker is showing the location of a ball, but it's not showing the location of a ball that's going to be replaced, which means it can't be a ball marker and is instead a movable obstruction. The other important aspect of this rule is that if somebody moves the CTP marker, you're allowed to put it back where it was before you putt. In other words, when your ball came to rest on the putting green, the CTP marker was in this location, and you're entitled to have loose impediments or movable obstructions left where they were when your ball came to rest. If another player moves the CTP marker for whatever reason, politely tell them that you're entitled to keep it where it was and you can have it replaced for your putt. And that's just another way of how knowing the rules can help protect your scorecard. If you got any value out of this video, do me a huge favor and like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one.